Good morning, Fit.Church. It's great to be with you on this Tuesday morning. I want to talk to you for a few minutes today about temptation. And let me read you the passage of scripture. It's 1 Corinthians 10:13. It reads like this: "The temptations in your life are no different from what others experience. And God is faithful. He will not allow the temptation to be more than you can stand. When you are tempted, He will show you a way out so that you can endure." Now, as we read that verse, I could list a variety, a whole myriad of temptations that we all walk through, deal with, have to face on a daily basis. But rather than go through all of those kinds of temptations, I want to directly deal with the kind of temptations that we face that sabotage our health journey. Parties, potlucks, and celebrations were always reasons that I could make an exception for what I would normally not eat. And those were the events that always sabotaged my attempts to become healthy. And as a pastor, they were regular all the time, as many times on a weekly basis or more than a weekly basis. And I'd come to a place in my life where I just justified to myself that I wasn't able to say no because that wasn't hospitable. And I would say no to a lot of things, but very rarely did I ever say no to food. Now, as a contestant on Biggest Loser, I'm reminded of a story where one of our contestants said, I just realized that there are millions and millions of donuts in the world. There's always going to be another donut in the world, so I don't always have to eat a donut today. And that is really a different mindset, that if we can adjust ourselves to realize that there's always going to be a candy bar, there's always going to be some ice cream, so we don't always have to have it every single day. We make our choices daily. And we may have heard people say, or even said it to ourselves, I just have fat genes. That's the way I'm going to be. People many times believe that our lives are destined by fate. And those kind of people surround us, and that's really a sad part of life. And as we buy into that philosophy of life, we begin to realize that there's no use to try to be different than what we are. Now, I'm not talking about a different sense of humor, a different personality, the imprint that make us uniquely God's image. Not those things. I'm talking about the things that we struggle with, the obesity, the fight to be who we want to be. You know what? That's not what God says. God says that we can face the temptations that are about us, and that we can say no to those temptations, and that we can be different than we would be without God. We have to recognize that God is not just a spectator to our existence, but He's involved in our lives. Now, let me just say it this way. He doesn't leave us to stand alone against temptation on our own. God promises us that He will make a way of escape so that we can avoid giving in to temptation every moment of the day. Now, what's our understanding of that statement? Well, our first defense is common sense. Okay, if I know that I love fried chicken, I shouldn't hold a meeting in a Kentucky Fried Chicken or a Church's Chicken or a Popeye's Chicken. All right? That probably isn't the best option. I'm probably not going to pick whatever healthy salad they might be serving that's been there for last week, because nobody buys salads at those kinds of places. But that's exactly what many of us do. We decide that, you know what, I'm going to say no to temptation, so I can go ahead and hold this meeting at Krispy Kreme and just have a cup of coffee. Well, no one goes to Krispy Kremes for coffee. All right? You don't. So, and then when we do, we wonder, why didn't the Lord give me the strength to say no? He just didn't give me an out. Well, we need to use common sense. The first step towards life change is common sense. So let's not put ourselves in those kinds of situations. So let's be smart. Let's plan ahead. Let's do our best to prevent temptation from arising. Let's use common sense. And then we can expect that our God will provide the strength for us to choose the way of escape when we've done all that we can to plan our best. Now, let me give you just a few quick thoughts on this. Number one, all of us are tempted. You're not alone, and God is not singling you out. So we're all tempted, number one. Number two, others have resisted the same temptations before, and you can too. Okay, so number one, all of us are tempted. Number two, others have resisted and been successful, and you can do it too. Number three, run from people and situations that systematically sabotage you. So if you have a group of friends and they're constantly trying to get you to eat pizza, and pizza is your biggest downfall, maybe you need to not spend time with those friends when they're going out for pizza. Number four, choose what you know is the best choice. Don't just be comfortable. Don't do what you think is the best. Choose what you know is the best choice. You know what? This last weekend, I was wanting something to eat. The last week and a half has been exhausting. Lori's teaching a couple of classes at a college. She's a principal during the day. Our daughter has classes on Tuesday night. It's just been this myriad of night after night after night. And then we had our trip to Arizona. And so it's been crazy. So Saturday night, rather than us cook at home, we decided we would go get something to eat. And we went to it's called Be Nutritious. And it's healthy food, like what we would have cooked at home. Healthy vegetables, a healthy carb, limited portion sizes. And then I got steak. I think Austin got, my wife got shrimp and Austin got chicken. And it was a good, healthy meal. We planned ahead. We made what was the best choice. Number 5 is ask God for help. And then 6, look for support people who are around you. And if you can't find anybody around you, then go to the Facebook group, contact some of us, let's support each other. So the question today is not whether or not you can change. The question is how to change. And notice the last line of the verse. When you are tempted, he will show you a way out. Now, I've learned that I can say no. I don't have to deny myself anything. I can partake of things that are really rich when I planned ahead, but I don't allow myself to overeat, and I don't feast on unhealthy foods. I feast on healthy foods. And I may taste a taste of something that I might enjoy, but it's only a taste. It's not a feast. You see, I know it can be done because no one was weaker than I was, and I was able to change, and you can too. So I want you to write down your first step that you can take in recognizing that you can change, that you're not destined, you're not fated to be this unhealthy person. So what's your first step? What is your first step? That's your Triple D today. What is your first step towards authentic change in your health journey? Let us know that. Go to the Fit.Church Prime group and let us know. What is that first step for your change? God bless you so much. Thank you for watching today's devotional, and I'll see you again tomorrow.